I'm Helen Hanks and I'm the lead for Occupational Therapy and Physical Therapy at Devon Partnership Trust Secure Directorate. Our directorate has grown considerably over recent years and we now provide the mental health services into the Devon prisons. We have our inpatient service here at Langdon Hospital in Dawlish and we have a range of community forensic services. During this video, we're going to take you on a journey across our directorate and you'll get to meet some of the occupational therapists, some of the technical instructors and some of the occupational therapy assistants who work within the directorate.
Hello, my name's Alice Vanstone. I'm the service manager for the community forensic services. I wanted to talk a little bit about my career sort of pathway through the Secure Directorate. So I started in 2014 in the Secure Directorate, having worked in acute services prior to that. I started on Connolly House, which was a 6-bedded open rehabilitation ward. It was quite an exciting opportunity because it was an opportunity to redesign the service and create an occupational therapy facilitated service. So it wasn't a traditionally run ward. It involved the core group of qualified staff were occupational therapists and there were support workers, and we had a small client group that we worked intensively to rehabilitate and reintegrate into the community. That was a great success and we were able to share our practice and the model nationally really. We had a lot of people visit from all over the country and a number of services were set up outside of Devon that mirrored the model of Connolly House. Following working on Connolly House, I then became the manager of the occupational therapy services within the inpatient service, which spans 8 wards. The occupational therapy service consisted of qualified occupational therapists, a sports team that worked across the 2 gyms, vocational rehabilitation team, and an engagement and involvement team. The Secure Directorate was successful in a bid to NHS England to set up one of 3 sites for a community forensic service. This didn't exist in Devon Partnership Trust and it was a really exciting opportunity to be part of service development and set up a new service. It was a pilot project that was set up in 2018. So after the successes of Connolly House, we were able to achieve the bid and the establishment was set up as 50% occupational therapists and 50% nursing staff as the core group. What I love about being an occupational therapist in the Secure Directorate is the opportunity for leading on projects and developing services.
Hi, my name's Fleur Lee and I want to tell you about the opportunities I've had whilst working within Secure Services for Devon Partnership Trust. I started as an MHP, a mental health practitioner on Warren Ward, which is a medium secure rehab ward. Following that role, I was lucky enough to move to Connolly House, an occupational therapy facilitated unit on site. The focus was on achieving a safe and sustainable discharge for our patients. We had a dramatic impact on the length of stay for these patients that they were in secure care. I then was part of the pilot project setting up the community forensic team. We had people from across the country coming to view Connolly House and the impact that occupational therapists can have within this role. I then was the ward manager of Devon House here on site, which is a low secure rehab ward. I then had the opportunity to ward manage Ashcombe Ward, which is a medium secure admission ward here on site. I then was given the opportunity to come and join the Devon community forensic team as the occupational therapy manager, and I'm loving the role of working with the occupational therapists within the team to develop the service even further following the successful expansion, and looking at the role of the occupational therapist within the team, because although it's a generic role, it's very much still the focus of occupational therapy and the value of it is very much appreciated within the team.
Hi, my name's Chloe Rosser. I'm one of the senior occupational therapists within the community forensic team. I'm here today to talk about my journey working in secure services. So I started working at Langdon as a band 5 occupational therapist, working on the admissions ward on medium security, and within this role I was involved in a lot of assessments and intervention planning. I then moved to Devon House, which is one of the low security wards, and on this ward I was a part of discharge planning and providing interventions for the patients that I work with. I was then really fortunate to be able to take a career break, which I was supported, and was able to take 6 months travelling around Southeast Asia. On return, I actually returned back to Langdon and worked at Connolly House. This was a really good opportunity. It's an occupational therapy led ward and the focus was around maximising independence, building on community living skills. So this was a really good experience which provided me opportunity to support patients from the point of admission through to discharge. So I was really able to see patients and support them within their journey and pathway within secure services. I then started working within the community forensic team, and this was a really good opportunity for me to develop my leadership skills and a good part of my career development. So this is working in a more senior role, and the focus of the team is around paid working. So it's really good that we are able to work as an occupational therapist with one of the nurses, so we share a caseload and have that element of peer support and discuss our clinical reasoning, which is really valuable.
I'm Matt and I'm a senior occupational therapist with the Devon Community Forensic Service. I'm quite new to the team here, having recently relocated from London, which was made really simple by the Trust, who provided me with a relocation package to help pay for the move down. I've really enjoyed developing my skills as an occupational therapist, working with a new group of service users in the community setting. So the job is working with people all across Devon, which involves lots of driving around, but also getting to see the lovely side of Devon and the nature. Recently, we've put together an initial assessment, which we're hoping to start using on as many service users as possible to start developing some occupational goals and helping to structure their routines and schedules in the week in the community. Previously to working for the Devon Community Forensic Service, I've only ever worked on the wards in the inpatient setting. Coming and working in the community with a bunch of other occupational therapists means we can work with people in a much less restrictive setting, and we're working on developing the occupational therapy service in order to help develop occupational goals with our service users, in order to promote their weekly routines and structures in the community setting rather than in the restrictive setting of the inpatient ward.
I'm Alex Watkins. I'm a technical instructor working with the engagement and involvement team, which is under the umbrella of OT. I work in the workshop running sessions that involve tool skills, project development, health and safety, managing harmful substances, all that kind of stuff. Stuff related to opportunities that patients might then take out into the wider environment, work experience project in the community, that kind of thing, giving them a sort of a base if they're interested in this kind of work, to take those experiences, give them confidence so they can then go out hopefully and be successful when they take on another a role in society. Some of the amazing opportunities that we provide for patients within the engagement and involvement team are conservation work at Yarner Woods on Dartmoor, where patients can do a range of activities from surveying insects in rivers, beetles in the pasture land, to removal of invasive species in oak woodland, all sorts of stuff. Sometimes it's just to do with understanding and appreciating nature, so it will be walking and going with the experts at Yarner Wood who will identify species, that kind of stuff. We have a really well established work experience project with a company called Peakorama in South Devon, and there they have public gardens where patients are able to contribute to the upkeep, maintenance of areas of that garden, which involves woodland walk, pathways, fencing, all that kind of stuff.
I'm Leanne and I'm the Educational Technical Instructor here at Langdon. I have teaching background, so I wanted to develop that and teach in a different environment. I would like to become a TRIM instructor. TRIM is Trauma Risk Management, and that would just help my friends and my colleagues that I work with. If they do suffer some sort of trauma, it would give somebody like myself a chance for them to talk it through. The team that I work with are amazing, come from all different walks of life, have lots and lots of experience, and we learn from each other. It is a very, very supportive team to work for. The Trust is very, very supportive and it sees you through every single day. What's not to like? Beautiful grounds, a lovely place to be. You can hear birds every time you come into work. There's seagulls everywhere. There's a beach just down the road. What's not to like?
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm an occupational therapy student at Plymouth University. I'm doing my Masters currently. The highlight of my time at Langdon has been working with the occupational therapy team and getting to know the different patients, and each patient has different complexities, and just getting to learn new things really. So I'm local to the area, so I just love living, I love being by the sea, and also I like to take patients out to the local area as well so they can explore it as well. Just being by the sea, I think it's very therapeutic for them. My favourite outing with patients has been going to Dawlish, getting an ice cream and going along the seafront for a walk with them.
I came to Langdon as a student in my second year at Plymouth University, and I enjoyed it so much I came back and got a job when I finished university. Coming to Langdon, you're really making a difference to people's lives, helping them with their recovery and helping them to lead a good life afterwards. I find it really rewarding when you see people progress through the hospital and then they move to Low Secure, where I now work, and you can see them through to the community, learning new things, getting new skills and getting better quality of life. So now I'm working here and I'm actually an educator, and I have students who come from university on placement. I've grown up in this local area and I just love being by the sea, and it's just a really lovely quality of life.
I'm Charlie and I'm an occupational therapist. I was on a placement at Langdon about 3 years ago when I was training as an OT, and I just absolutely loved it here. That confirmed that I was going to work in mental health. But then I went on to, when I qualified, I went on to do a rotation in an acute trust, gained a lot of experience but always knew I wanted to go back to mental health, and then a job came up at Langdon. The best thing about being an OT here is the variety of sessions that we get to run. I think for me it would probably be the social cooking groups that we do. Basically you see a lot of people come out of their shell. We have had patients that are really unengaging, appear really unmotivated, and then they get involved in cooking that they're really familiar with, and they just absolutely come out of their shell. You see their skills, you see their generosity, you see their interactions with other patients, and it's just really great to see. And it's been really nice having sessions where we have kind of different roles, so we might have a cook, we might have someone that lays a table, we might have someone that takes the orders, and the guys just really relish it and they're absolutely brilliant. I think what I find most rewarding about working here is just kind of seeing the guys come into their own really, and being able to do occupation focused interventions. Since coming to Langdon I've realised there was a lot of opportunity to develop.
My name's Rob, I'm an occupational therapy assistant and I will be starting my degree apprenticeship in occupational therapy in September. So I've been working at Langdon now for just over a year and I've really enjoyed working as an occupational therapy assistant, so this is the natural progression for me. To get on this course I needed A-levels or equivalent, so for example a level 3 BTEC. I also needed Maths and English GCSE. They didn't ask for any specific experience, but in order to be on the course you have to be working in a patient-facing role as a occupational therapy assistant under an occupational therapist. The course is funded by the trust, so Devon Partnership. It's really cool to be able to work with the service users we have and help them get their lives back on track. It's something that I can do for the rest of my life, which is very exciting. I really enjoy the team I work with, so being able to work with like-minded people, inspiring people, people that motivate you to be the best version of yourself is really cool, so Mondays don't feel like your normal Monday.
My name is Marissa and I've been working here at Langdon for just under 2 years. I'm an occupational therapist here and I work on one of the medium secure wards. But before coming to Langdon, I studied at the University of Derby, and before that I lived in Barbados. So prior to coming to Langdon, after I graduated, I had a look around for jobs, and when I came across Langdon, I realized it was in Devon, in a really nice area, and also one of the really big incentives for coming to Langdon was their relocation package. So we're funded up to £8,000 or up until 2 years of working with Devon Partnership Trust. So there are plenty great things about working here at Langdon. One of the really good things about working here is that we can have really close relationships with our patients because they're here for a really long time, so we can build up those therapeutic relationships with them. And because there's medium secure, low secure and open ward, we get to see a really nice transition from medium secure all the way down to an open ward, so it's really nice to see that progress.
I'm Katie. I'm an occupational therapy manager at Langdon Hospital. I chose to be an occupational therapist because when I looked into it, the career progression was really interesting, and you got to pick so many different diverse settings. When I came to Langdon, because it was a really good opportunity to work with people who have come into contact with services as a result of their mental health issues and found themselves on pathways that they wouldn't maybe have anticipated at times. And occupational therapy means bringing those people back to their ordinary lives and getting them to where they want to be. I've been here probably about 18 months and the team are amazing. There's a really cool bunch of people here, really funny, really interesting, and when you get talking to them, they've all got a story to tell. One thing that this team are really good at, and why I think people would be really interested in working here, is it's a great start to a career. You can actually start to implement the principles of recovery and meaning into people's lives again. And you work with some brilliant people. So the multidisciplinary teams on all the wards are great. You've got so much experience from lots of different disciplines. And to top it all, you've got farmland around here. So you can kind of sit and pause for a minute. You can take a walk around the Buzzard Trail. You can watch the cows. You can look at the sea. So that's why I moved to Devon and why I work at Langdon.
I'm Joanna. I'm the Engagement Involvement Team Manager. The OT service has an engagement and involvement team which offers a wide range of opportunities. These include vocational rehabilitation sessions where patients can work at the cafe, at the workshop, at horticulture. We also have a recovery education college, the Discovery Centre. Sessions offered through the college are co-produced by patients and staff, and they are around understanding mental health, physical health, recovery journey and learning new skills. Working within the OT service really helps me to achieve work-life balance. I have a young family and it's really important to me to spend quality time with them. And because I have a bit of flexibility, I'm able to achieve that. Currently, I study a master's degree in vocational rehabilitation. Having a supportive manager has been absolutely amazing. Not only I have been financially supported to do my studies, but also I've been able to negotiate time within my working week to be able to do what I need to do for university.
I'm Katie. I'm a Band 5 Precepty Occupational Therapist working for Devon Partnership Trust at Langdon Hospital on the medium secure unit. Knew I wanted to come back here just because of the area, the people, just the locals are great. So saw this job open up and thought, right, it's perfect. The Preceptorship programme at Devon Partnership, it is a year of extra support. So I think a lot of people in other settings really find the transition from qualifying straight to working full-time really difficult. I've already been put on some extra courses already, which is amazing, and I think so rare for newly qualified is to get all this extra stuff thrown your way. So within a few months I've done VDT MOCA training. One of the favourite things I can hands down say, working here in particular at Langdon, is the horsemanship for health. The managers here at Langdon and across DBT, I think generally, are so supportive.
Climbing.
Dawlish Warren. Walking my dog on the beach.
Brilliant colleagues to work for.
The countryside.
Pasties.
Seaside. It's a beautiful area.
Project development.
Being outdoors.
Building skills.
There's something different every day.
Creative thinking.
Career development.
Sea swimming. The atmosphere.
Walking.
Vocational opportunities.
Kayaking.
Supportive leadership.
Cycling.
Thinking outside the box. The great team.
Pasties again.
I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to know more, please do get in contact.